skin, the taste of your mouth, the sound of your voice when your mind is running about. I know just what you're thinking. You can hear the train is coming, and soon we'll be headed on home. I'm falling in love with you, and I don't know what I should do. I'm falling in love with you, and I don't know what I should do. That I will never hold your child. I will be your angel, watching over you. Now let go of the sorrow around losing me, and go live your life for two. Live your life for two.
System or something. How you doing, man?
I think so. I'm okay. How was Miami? Is that wild over there?
I'm not in. Now I'm in Nashville. Now we're based in Nashville. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you like it better? You like it? Is it different?
absolutely. You know,
You do?
actually, yeah, actually, you're gonna perform here in August.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, at a wine music festival. So that'll be exciting for sure.
Good. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen. I mean, your name needs no introduction, Brandon. Thank you for joining us. But your music, Brandon, I have to tell you, I mean, and your songwriting, I mean, of course, some people may know you from Brandon and Leah, but dude, like your stuff is so good. It's really underrated. It's the definition of underrated.
Well, it's nice of you to say. I appreciate that. I've been
Yeah,
doing it a
absolutely.
long time, and I love doing it.
Yeah, absolutely, Brandon. So before we get into the new album, like let's start with the basics. How are the twins? Obviously, they were born in January 2020. I imagine it was like a blessing in a way to have that time with them.
Yeah, it was. Well, we were really fortunate that we had a normal hospital experience giving birth. They were born in February of
All right.
2020, so kind of just before everything happened. And yeah, it's been a really spectacular year and a half. For us personally. I mean, it's been a very difficult for a lot of people, but we've just been home. We love where we live, and we've had our kids every day. I've been able to be in their lives every day, and got to be a really involved parent, which is one of the most important things to me. So
Yeah.
it's been a pretty nice year and a half. But I'm excited to start playing music again and getting out and seeing some new faces.
Absolutely, absolutely, Brandon. And speaking of music, obviously it's been part of your life for a long time. Your mom is Linda Thompson, your stepdad David Foster. It's almost incredible that with like all the attention, around your life, that the music element has gone kind of under the radar with how good you are, Brandon. But what are some early memories, where maybe you were like with David's studio, or your mom playing records that made you first say, "Man, I want to pursue that as well. I want to make people feel that."
Yeah. Well, music has always been kind of a source of therapy for me. Music is something that I was always really passionate about listening to when I was young. It helped me get through difficult times. And then as far as like playing music, it was one of those things where I just kind of categorized it as that's what my parents did for work. I didn't really um, think of it as something that I wanted to do for myself
Mhm.
until I went to college. And when I was in
Okay.
college and I was looking around and kind of everybody was trying to figure out what they wanted to do in their lives, and it gave me that opportunity for reflection and to kind of think, okay, what do I want my life's journey to be and what's important to
Mm,
me? And up until that point, with the last name Jenner, I thought I was supposed to be an athlete,
sure,
So
sure.
I was like, doing all the extreme sports I could do. That's what my brother and I kind of grew up surfing and snowboarding and motocross. And so I was really focused on that stuff growing up. And it wasn't until I was in college that I saw the real beauty in making not just a career out of music, but spending your life um, trying to use music as a way to help others get through
That's
their
beautiful.
difficult times.
That's
And so that's
beautiful.
what I did. I committed to that, very, very hard and very committed in college. And fortunately, did learn a lot through my parents, just kind of through osmosis, by
Sure.
hanging out in the
Sure.
studio and watching my parents write songs and stuff like that. So I definitely had a good foundation growing up with them.
Yeah, totally. But this period in college, it sounds really transformational. Did you have a break point? Was there like a moment like where you saw the light, or was it like gradual?
Well, there was a guy across the hall that had a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and
Mhm.
he knew how to play "Sweet Home Alabama,"
Yeah,
which I just thought was the coolest thing. And so he taught me how to play that. Bum, bum, ba-dum, da-dum,
yeah.
da. And
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
was, oh my God, I'm hooked. And it
Yeah.
was also
Yeah.
those, I do this in my life a lot, where I kind of like try to take a tally of what I'm doing in my life and how I'm spending my time, and try to kind of decide what is valuable
Mm,
and what's leading to growth and happiness and what isn't. And in college, it was one of the things we would do is, like, sit around and smoke weed and drink beer and watch TV, right?
sure.
And so I was like, why are we doing this? Like, why don't we learn something? So it was actually me and two buddies. They both got guitars, and I got one. We all three got guitars, and instead of doing that, we would sit around and still smoke weed and drink beer, but we would just not watch TV. We would just play music, and it was fantastic. And I spent
Yeah.
years doing that, all day, every day. I mean, that's like what we did when we were hanging out. Um, and so that was, I felt like I had to make up for lost time, because I was now a 19-year-old, or 20, and had never really, picked up an instrument aside from a little bit of saxophone here and a little bit of guitar, very little when I was younger. But I felt like I had a lot of making up to do.
Well, you certainly have been doing that, and it's funny you mentioned making the best use of time because I mean, life for two. You basically did all the instrumentation, and correct me if I'm wrong. You did all the production, you did the editing. Were all these skills like did you polish them throughout the pandemic, or did you not know them before?
Oh no, but ever since I started playing music, I've been recording
You've been
myself. And
recording.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I've co-produced with a couple of people.
Mm,
There's a great guy named Tony Berg that I worked with for my first solo record, who's
yeah.
fantastic. And but aside from that, I mean, and I have another guy named Jorge Vivo that did a lot of early mixing for me and a lot of early production and engineering, and he was kind of like a guru of mine growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the last handful of records and most of the music that you hear, most of the music that you go and hear, it's written by me, and all played most of the instruments. I do hire some musicians on occasion, drummers especially, to come
Yeah.
in and do some stuff, and then uh, and then it's mixed and mastered by me. And that's what I do. I mean, I'm sitting here in my studio right now. This is my
Yeah.
spot. I sit here, I got a pretty good simple rig, and I've been working on Pro Tools kind of ever since I left college, pretty much, which
Yeah.
was in 2002 or something. So
Great
I've been
energy
doing it
coming out of that
since.
room. You can tell that it's like that it's your place. It's connected to your soul. Really cool stuff.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 of course. All right. So let's chat a little bit about the music because it is so damn great. I mean, let's first talk about There You Are, right? So the
Mhm.
production, like we're saying, is just stunning. I mean, lyrics like Proud Man doesn't hear you. It only matters how he feels. Used man don't have much to say. Brandon, when you're working, because writing a good song, I see it in Nashville all the time, is hard work. People think being a musician or being a celebrity is all fun and games, but it's hard work. The actual work of writing a lyric like this that just kind of gives you shivers through your spine. Do you have a disciplined approach, Brandon? And what I mean is, do you tell your wife and do you tell your family and friends, guys, I am going to work tomorrow 9 to 5. See you guys at dinner. Or are you like surfing and chilling with the kids and you'll get a lyric and you'll be like, I gotta get my phone and record it.
It happens both ways, but absolutely, I have to be disciplined with it. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not typically thinking of lyrics when I'm surfing or hanging with my kids and stuff like that.
Mm,
Um, every once in a while, something will happen, and there are things that happen in life that inspire lyrics or inspire the motivation to write a song.
sure.
But no, you really have to treat it. For me, I really have to treat it like work. I have to really block out time and say, this is
Yeah.
when I'm going to sit down and finish writing this song. A lot of times the initial inspiration for things comes in life but then
Hmm.
getting it across the finish line, finishing it, rewriting the lyric that you had, the rough thing, rewriting and rewriting and rewriting,
Right.
and think what exactly flows the best way, what is too literal and what's too vague, and kind of honing it in till you have something that you're really really proud of. That takes work, it takes effort, and it takes very kind of extreme focus.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that. It's like the discipline of it. Absolutely. Like going to
Yeah,
the
you,
gym.
you
Yeah.
have to have that. I mean, I would assume you can. I'm sure anybody that is motivated and has something that they're proud of, that it does take discipline.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be able to do that. You have to, and we live in this world where there's just so many distractions. I mean,
Exactly.
we literally have media companies that are doing everything they can to try to trick us to just get our attention, because our attention is so
Right.
valuable, right? I mean,
Right.
our attention is so valuable. It's a commodity.
Mm.
And so, if you have the ability to be able to limit distractions, and truly shut them off,
Yeah.
like a dog barking outside or something like that.
Right.
But if you can really shut off those distractions, your attention becomes a superpower, because very few people are really doing that these days.
Oh, I love that. I totally love that quote. Absolutely, Brandon. All right, Life for Two. I mean, what can you say about Life for Two? I mean, you probably, if you had $1 every time you made people cry with that song, you'd probably be a gazillionaire at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly, it's one of the most beautiful songs I've heard in a long time, Brandon. It's just perfect in every way, every word. I mean, if God ever had a plan for me, well, that plan was you, and on and on. It's just one after another. And the
Mhm.
video, of course, it's a whole different story, Brandon. But let's start with the video really quickly. When you just glancing through the YouTube comments of the impact that you've created in people's lives with your video. I mean, to give my audience just a couple examples, you'll have someone say, "I love you, Dad. Thank you for communicating this to me." Or, "I just finished listening to this song. I lost my husband and mom in the same year, and this is helping me heal." When you read stuff like this, Brendan, what does it make you feel?
Hmm. Well, it's probably written all over my face right now. Um, yeah, it's a real privilege to be able to give back to the universe in the way that music gave so much to me growing up. Um, a song that helps you to process emotions
Yeah,
is such an amazing tool. I've used it in my life at times, and so to be able to um, try to tap into some pain and heartache that other people are going through, and to write a song that in turn helps other people get through difficult
sure.
times is, it's one of those things that, without that, I don't know. I just don't know what my life would be. It's like the one of the most profound um, things in my life is to feel that kind of deep sense of purpose and gratitude.
Yeah. He's like, you totally get it, and like this is totally what this show is about, like at its core. Like you get it, Brendan. And you've mentioned it twice, so I have to ask you, like, what are some of the records here, like that when you were going through your, life challenges growing up? What are some,
Mhm.
some like a couple music songs, Tom Petty, whoever it may be, that just really took you through it?
Yeah, I mean, Ben Harper,
Mm,
"Give Me Your Forever." Du-du-du-du.
yeah,
That was a song that I remember getting me through a lot of stuff. There's a guy named Mason Jennings that I listened to a lot.
yeah.
California. Hope that hope that it takes you out of the darkness that I couldn't break through. There's like
Mm,
so many amazing lyrics. Jack Johnson, I really love.
yeah,
A lot of singer songwriters that I kind of grew up with, and I'm
sure,
sure I'm missing a million of them. But and I had so many different stages in music growing up. I mean, I listened to a lot of hip hop when I was younger, and then when I really started to kind of get into to love, right, and to experience love and be humbled by love and all that stuff, that's when I really kind of started gravitating towards people that were writing really emotional songs, like songwriters that are writing songs about
yeah,
love and about um,
yeah.
yeah, that. So and ever since then, that's kind of what I've been mostly hooked on.
Amazing. I mean, look, you've been so generous with your time, and I think you're going to play a little tune for us. But I just have to tell you, Brandon, the best thing. I mean, you're an amazing artist, obviously, like songwriting, production, the whole thing. But what you're giving people through your music, that message of the purpose of living is giving, if you will, and connecting and empathy, that may be like your greatest gift to the world. Like you're leaving us all inspired.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a big believer that when we're gone, the only thing that we leave behind is the way that we've made other people feel. All of the things that we have are going to be dust one day, but the way that you make somebody feel, it starts with your family, starts with your closest friends and family. They're going to carry that on after you're gone, and they're going to raise their kids in that way with that same kind of love and um, deep understanding. And so
Beautiful.
that's and music gives me the ability to be able to reach beyond just my friends and family, but also to people that find some kind of therapeutic value in my music. And so that's why for me
Nice.
it's so important.
Well, thank you for that, Brandon.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's a rumor you may
You
play a
want to play a
little,
song?
you may play a little ditty for us.
I'd be happy to. I'd be happy
Ah,
to.
thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful
This
guitar.
is this is the one that you were talking about, Life for Two, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Could I
and
give
it
you any guitar, Brandon, and you would make it sound good? And like, or are you particular with your guitars?
maybe you want me to switch. You want to play it on a different one? Yeah, I'm pretty particular because I record guitars a lot. So I
Mhm.
have a few different things that I use, but I try not to have too many instruments because I'm also kind of a believer that the more you limit yourself with the tools that you have, the more it forces you to be creative with those tools.
Yes,
So,
yes.
I kind of when I'm going for just a regular straight up guitar, this is the one that I've been
Nice.
recording now for a while. And this song, just for anybody that's watching that doesn't know, a woman came up to me after a show in Copenhagen, Denmark, and told me that she was diagnosed with an illness and that she wasn't going to be around in a couple of years, and she was leaving some children behind. And she wanted me to write a song about her and her experience. And so this is the song. It's called Life for Two. My body is aching, it soon will disappear. But every heartbeat was worth it. I had so many good years. My child, I wish I wasn't leaving you, but some things are out of our control. I will be your angel, watching over you. Now let go of the sorrow around losing me, and go live your life for two. Never be afraid to cry, always let yourself have fun. Don't ever think you're any better or any worse than anyone. Well, I'm sorry that I won't be there to see you wed. I can't stand that I will never hold your child. I will be your angel, watching over you. Now let go of the sorrow around losing me, and go live your life for two. Live your life for two. Oh, why did it have to be this way? You're far too young for what you must go through. And if God ever had a plan for me, well, that plan was you. I will be your angel, watching over you. losing me, and go live your life for two.
Unbelievable. Brandon Jenner, you said it all. And that song, you're leaving so much great stuff in the universe. Thank you for that, Brandon.
Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
Thank you for your time. And see you in August in Music City.
Sounds
Can't
deal.
wait. All right.
Sounds like
Take
sounds like
care.
a deal. Bye bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you, Jamie. Take care.